Hey everybody! I wanted to pop in here today and introduce myself. My name is Darlene and I am a coach on Team Fit Unique and have been so for about a little over 2.5 years now. And I thought I would come in and share my story, a little bit about me and my journey with Beachbody and why it has totally changed my life for the better. And I couldn't be more excited to share it with you. So, a little background on me. As I grew up on a farm and I'd always been athletic. I was into baseball, into the softball, and then in high school, I went into field hockey. And going through those stages, between, the early years through high school, going into college, yes, I was very athletic. I did the sports, but growing up on a farm when you are surrounded by comfort food and big meals and, going through high school, you didn't learn what you've learned now as far as nutrition and health. And although seemed to be fit and I was into sports and I didn't work out per se every day. I just played the sport and my nutrition sucked. It really did. But I was young and I didn't give a crap really and would go to the cafeterias and get the large warm cookies through bake. I would have the, fries with the gravy, and really it was not on my radar for the nutrition. And going into college years, I went to college for a couple of years for a medical office assistant and thought that was something I really wanted to pursue. I wanted to be in the medical profession, or I just wanted to basically help others. I'd always thought about being a ambulance attendant, and that didn't pan out because partying and drinking and having fun with my friends kind of took precedent over what I should have been looking at and where I wanted to go for the rest of my life. I guess maybe I really never honestly knew my direction I needed to be in. I'm the type of person that I always tried everything. I would work at a restaurant, or I would, went to school for the medical office assistant. I tried that. I worked at a chiropractor's office, and I worked at a turkey farm in the wholesale division and calling people. Just nothing ever really stuck with me, that it didn't bring me passion, or it didn't make me feel like I had a purpose. I was just going through the motions basically. And during that time in my 20s to 30s, I actually joined a competitive tug of war team. Yes, that's a thing. And we traveled the world and we were in competitions. And I still had that team aspect of everybody working together and, myself leading the team as a captain in each competition and rallying the troops, as you want to say. And after about, I think it was 3 or 4 years, kind of life happened. You get older, you realize you can't be doing this every weekend. And I stopped with my sports, completely stopped, and then tried to focus again on finding something that I might be passionate at. I've always been creative. I had my own woodworking shop with primitive folk art. And then that really didn't work out for me as well. And I went bankrupt. And that was like a real eye opener there. But in the same sense, I was still young enough that I thought I'd just walk away, start over new. And it was a real struggle when I look back at it now. But then after tug of war, then I decided I wanted to do my own business again. I feel that I could never work for anybody else. I just felt that I could do it on my own. I could try this on my own, and I wanted to work for myself. And I became a photographer. No training. I just did YouTube, and I helped at a few weddings. I assisted at them, and I just loved the passion at a wedding. I loved being surrounded by brides, happy people all the time. And I continued to do that. And then I found that, the weight started creeping on because as much as I was running around at a wedding all day, I was sitting at a desk for 10 or 12 hours editing the photos every day. I wasn't moving, I wasn't doing anything. And then at the weddings, I would be, going to the buffet afterwards because I hadn't ate all day and I just ate whatever was on there. So the weight started coming back. I mean, I'd never been a real small person other than when I was training for tug of war. We really narrowed in on our nutrition. I was probably at the lightest weight that I ever could have been at and did not do it healthy at all, basically starving myself. But I got to the weight that I thought I should be, that we needed for our weigh-ins, and, then 5 years went by, whatever, gained back the 15 pounds that I had originally lost. I was heavier in high school, and then I became heavy again. And it really just kind of made me not feel as confident as I should be going to a wedding, wearing a bathing suit. I was still drinking and having fun with my friends, and there's nothing wrong with drinking, but I think it overtook some of those emotions that I felt like crap, that I thought, this is going to help me feel better. It's no different. I'm an emotional eater as well, or a stress eater. I thought that eating or drinking would hide the pain of what I was feeling instead of doing something about it. Eventually I got married. I was married to this guy. I am married to the same guy. And, our marriage started to kind of fail because I was working for myself. The income wasn't coming in like I expected it to. We were trying. We were struggling. The credit card debt started building up, and it just kind of snowballed. And that also took a turn and a toll on our marriage. And in the beginning of 2015, we had separated for a year. And I don't want to get emotional, and it's an emotional time, but it really, all those factors came into play, and that's what happened to us. And we just grew apart. And over the course of 2015, when I was on my own, I decided to really dive into Beachbody. I started back in 2014 because I wanted to get back on track again, and because I wanted to feel better again. And I didn't really go at it 110% like I should have, whether it was in my challenge groups. I signed up originally to get the discount in the Shakeology because I felt that that was something that was benefiting my nutrition. If I could only at least get one meal in a day that covered all the nutrients that my body needed, and I knew it was healthy rather than the chips or the pop or the drinks or the alcohol, then I was doing something good for my body. So fast forward to 2015 when I moved out and we were separated. That's when I kind of started to dive into coaching and thought, this is something more here. I did the personal development. I read. I worked on myself. In the end, at the end of 2015, I'm happy to say that since then, my husband and I have been back together. And I honestly, truly believe in my heart that Beachbody has been a huge factor in all of this. It's turned my life around. I'm a much happier person now. I know how to deal with my cravings, my stress. We've paid off our credit card debt, and we're rewarded trips, every year. We're able to work on ourselves when we're gone away. It has been truly, truly a blessing. And it's not only the monetary aspect of it all, but I found my passion again. I found my passion of helping ladies every day, every month, all year long to become the best version that they could be. And there's no better feeling in the world than that. And it's truly been an eye-opener for me that, I wanted to pay it forward because my coach didn't give up on me. My coach supported me and gave me the tools I needed to be the best version I could be. And it's paid me back twice fold. By what I was given, I'm giving it back out again, because everyone deserves to feel the way that I do, or the way that any of us that feel. So that's a little bit about my story. I can only dream of, and I know what's going to happen the next 2 to 5 years, that my hopes are to retire my husband by the end of the year, and from a job that possibly, that he's been in it for over 20 years and he's lost his passion. We are all worth it. We all have the choice. We don't have to just do what we think we have to do. We can do anything that we put our minds to do. So I hope this story has inspired you somewhat, and I'm so excited that you decided to join in just to hear a little bit about coaching and what it is and what it can do for somebody. And I'm so grateful for the ladies that are on our team. They're the best friends that I probably have ever had. And to be honest, probably didn't know them 2.5 years ago. But it's surrounding yourselves with positive, like minded people, and life can only get better. So, thanks for listening.